After the latest patch, Strategist Azir have ended up in the S tier and are now the most popular comp. In this guide I will show you how to play it and even how you can play it if you're contested. The full comp look like this. We are playing 4 Strategists for more damage to Azir and shield to the front line. 3 Demacia units to give a radiant item to Lux or Jarvan. 3 Zerimas to buff Azir even more. 2 Juggernauts for more frontline. And 2 multicasters, mostly because they fit the comp well, but also to give a bit more damage and more CC from Taliyah. Azir will be in the backline with AP damage items and attack speed items. Lux will be in the other corner with AP and mana items. Jarvan or Nasus will be in the front line with the tank items, and the rest of the units will more or less be there just to get the traits active. Do you get the chance to get a Strategist emblem, you will take that every time. Are we getting a Zerima emblem, you can consider going full Zerimas, but else just add in Cassandra at level 9 for 5 Zerimas. The game plan is to make time for Lux and Azir to do damage. Every time Lux cast, she will almost one-shot the unit. Meanwhile, Azir will build up attack speed and shred everyone his attacks. Jarvan does AoE stun, Taliyah does solo target stun, and the rest of the unit's job is just to make more damage or holding the front line. Units worth knowing how they work is first of all Jarvan, who will jump to the biggest numbers of units he can hit. Meaning, are you fighting one yourself? Don't clump up your carries. The second unit, it Lux, who does huge amount of solo target damage, and if the unit isn't tanky, one spell is enough to kill it. If the unit dies, meanwhile Lux is casting, she will transfer over to the next target with the beam. Azir's passive is to attack with sand soldiers on every third attack, meaning attack speed is really important on him. His ability is to summon sand soldiers and up to 3 times, and every time they attack it's with AP damage. The 3 rival legends is Ezreal, Vladimir and Aurelion Sol. Ezreal because it's the strongest one in the meta at the moment, and that is why for most players that will be the right one to pick. This is due to his latest buff and nerf on a lot of other legends. If you're picking Ezreal, you might want to consider taking his augment at 2-1 and 3-2. Vladimir's augments fits the comp well as well. You can consider taking Vladimir's augment at 2-1 and again at 4-2. The last option is to take Aurelion Sol, knowing you are going to force your way up in levels fast, trying to pick up all the units before everyone else. The portal that you want to take is almost any of the portals. I do though recommend to avoid portal that does something random or makes the game very different, like the sum. The augments that we are looking for is Strategist Heart, Long Distance Pal, Tactical Superiority, Last Stand, Magic Wand, Zerima's Legacy, Well Earned Comfort, Unified Resistance, Know Your Enemy, Zerima Heart, Ezreal's 2-1 and 3-2, Vladimir's 2-1 and 4-2, and Aurelion Sol's 2-1. You can also just look for the augments that buff the overall team's defensive or buffs Azir. Azir will be the main carry, and we will itemize him first. His core items is Rage Blade and Static Shift. During 2 he need a lot of attack speed. His third item will be in the best case a Gunblade. This will make sure that he will stay alive when he is getting jumped and at the same time helping the front line. But you can also be fine by taking Giant Slayer, Guardbreaker, Gauntlet and Rapid Fire. Are you ending up with only one of the 2 core items? You want to put in as many of the other items as possible. Lux is our secondary carry and does a huge difference for the team. She has Sojourn as best item after the buff. During 2 we want her to cast as often as possible. As mentioned, she does a huge amount of damage, and a Gunblade will be a good second item, making herself stay alive. Meanwhile, she is healing the front line, and that will give more time for Azir to scale up. Her last item can be any of the AP damage items. Do you want her to be even stronger? You will only put 2 items on her and letting the trait Demacia giving her a radiant item. You can make sure that she's the one getting that item by giving Jarvan only 1 or 3 items. Jarvan and Nasus will be our tanks, and in most cases you will choose Jarvan to make sure that Lux will get the radiant item. But by default you should put your tank items on whoever you get to 2-star first. Often you should try to go and make Jarvan as tanky as possible. His job is to jump in and stun as many units as he can. Meanwhile, his damage output doesn't really matter. Give him items like Protector's Vow, Warmonk, and an early Sunfire Cape for a bit more power in the early game before you get your full board online. If you get a Zarema emblem, you can put it on Jarvan as well. Are we picking Ezreal or Vladimir as our legend? We are going to play at default leveling, as I will show you first. At 2-1 we will go level 4 if we have a strong start. And at 2-5 we will go level 5 if we are on a win streak. Do we have a weak board or are losing? We can just keep the lose streak into the first PvE round after the first 5 rounds versus other players. Openers you can look for is Cass, Renekton plus 3 Void units, but if you find a 2-star unit, you can also just play around that. At 3-2, go level 6, and here you want to avoid using too much gold since you have to do a roll down at level 7. You can do a bit if you are not stable at all, but else just add in the strongest units that you have that fits the board best. Just before hitting stage 3-5, you should check how your gold and health situation is. And you should also check what other players are going to play. Are you low on health? You might want to consider going level 7 at 3-5 and roll down for some of the units from the full comp. Does it look like other players are playing the same comp as you? Again, you might want to consider going level 7 and roll down for some of the units. Are you healthy and does it not seem like you're getting contested? You can wait to stage 4-1 or 4-2 and go level 7 here. Roll down to hit a lot of the units from the full comp, and hopefully you're hitting at least one of each unit. In best case, we will play the full comp without Teemo. When you're stable, you can just go level 8 whenever you will have 20 gold to roll down for. Do you have 2 or more pairs of the 4-cost units? You should consider rolling down to hit those units. This will make you way stronger and making sure that you will be one of the players with the most 2-star units. When you're level 8, you can roll down to make all your units to 2-star, but do you have 3 out of 4 of the 4-cost units to 2-star, you can consider going level 9 and adding in a 5-cost unit. Cassandra will probably be the best one, but else Heimer, Aatrox or Sion. If you want to play a bit differently and you want to go level 7 or 8 super early, you can consider taking Aurelion Sol as your legend. This is something I play myself. You will pick Aurelion Sol's augment at 2-1, but depending on what augment that you get, you have to play it a bit differently. Are you getting cutting corners? You want to play a lose streak, getting to 50 gold, and start slow push your levels. Or if you have a strong start, you can go for early levels and have more units than everyone else to make sure that you're getting the win streak. But if you're going for the win streak, you have to make sure that you're the one winning. Scout a lot and see if the other players have strong boards. It isn't a bad idea to go level 6 to make sure that you're guaranteeing your win streak at stage 2. Are you on the lose streak? You just want to push level slowly, and at the second augment, you want to look for combat augment that fits the team well. If you cannot pick any good combat augments, you can pick up Aurelion Sol's augment again, and now you have to go for level 7 really fast and roll down for strong units. This can be done as early as stage 3-2. This will also show the other players that you are playing their Azir comp, and if they want to play the same comp, they will be contested. If you take a combat augment, you can push level 7 at stage 3-5 with a good amount of gold and rolling down to hit your units. At stage 4-2, you can again look for combat augment that fits your team well, and if not, grab Aurelion Sol's augment again, making you able to go level 8 instantly. Now you have to roll for 2-starring all your units, and as explained earlier, getting the same amount of 2-stars as you were playing Ezreal or Vladimir before you're going level 9. Keep in mind, are you playing all of the Aurelion Sol augments, you will lack in combat power. And if you're above Master in rank, you will have a hard time playing without combat augments. Are you getting the gold augment at 2-1? You want to play for not losing too much health, but a lose streak will be the best. This will be played at the same way as cutting corners, but you will not try to go for a win streak early. Instead, you will have the chance to go for a fast level 7 or 8. Pick a combat augment as your second or third, but else just take Aurelion Sol and push levels and roll down before everyone else. The last augment that you can get at 2-1 is leveling up. Check if other players have strong augments, and if none of them have a strong start, you can play for a win streak by pushing levels early. If they do have a strong start, you can just play for the lose streak, and every time you hit 50 gold, push levels for a fast level 7 or 8 and roll down before everyone else. And the last tip is that you could put your units like this by default, since a lot of players is playing units like Jarvan, who will jump the biggest groups of units. This will make sure that Lux and Azir is safe. If you could use this video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe, if you want to see more guides like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next guide.